especially after last week's win. Generally, way too many penalties. It's a game. I mean, obviously they say statistics are for losers, and they're probably right. But the only statistic that matters is 38-16. But we had one more first down than they had. We outrushed them. They out-threw us by about, looks like around 50 yards. See, we had 83 total offensive plays, and we possessed the ball again for almost 40 minutes. Problems offensively, we were 4-19 for third down, but we were 6 of 8 for fourth down. And I tell you, I just hate making those fourth down calls. Go for it, but we find ourselves in those situations. I thought defensively we were really disappointing. We were disappointing in penalties. The first drive I thought was almost surreal. Three 15-yard. We gave them 45 yards on that drive, and just made a lot of mistakes. And offensively, we played like, I would say we played okay, but just okay. I know you'll ask, so we've lost starting 2 quarterbacks. Really tough. I mean, that's really tough. Shad is out. I thought Shad was really playing well there in the beginning, and then Johnny King might have a fairly significant knee injury. So piling up, injuries piling up, and then just so sorry for the fans and for the kids, and we just need to do a lot better. So take some questions.
Hunter?
Coach, first off, I want to ask about the quarterbacks. You said Jalen Trexler out. What are the injuries they're dealing with?
I prefer not to say right now. I need to meet with our medical people. They're down there being seen now, but Trexler was significant enough that he wasn't able to get back in. Right?
Was that on the slide? Was that out?
And then Jalen took a hit, and I just need to find out before I speculate. But you saw in there, his leg just came out from under him, like Shad's. Did you see that run with Shad? I mean, his leg just. So I just need to go find out, and I will after this. We'll get it to you when we get it. When we know what we're talking about.
Jeremy?
Coach, you mentioned that the penalties, 12 penalties for 106 yards. I asked you this question on Tuesday, but how do you eliminate that part of the game? How do you stop those unforced errors?
I don't know. At some point, your players have to be disciplined and care enough to play the game within the rules. And, when they don't do that, they hurt the team. And, that's what I'll say about that.
Hunter?
This is for all three of you guys. When you look at, you mentioned the stats almost double the time of possession, 30 more plays for the three of you. What went wrong tonight? At what point did start with Coach O?
Yeah, I didn't do a good enough job preparing these guys. Yeah, they weren't ready to play, and that falls on me. So, you've seen for the first 7 games, for the most part, our guys have played really hard. They've given great effort, and the execution falls on me. There were opportunities to get off the field. Some we did, some we didn't. A couple of those touchdowns, I'll go back and look at our plan, for some of their guys. They had some explosive receivers we talked about earlier in the week. Didn't do a good enough job putting them in position to execute. Because if they did, they wouldn't have scored in those situations. And again, it falls on me. And watch the tape in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whenever this finishes up, and we'll go back to work. And we'll clean up any issues we have, and we'll begin to build confidence. I felt like we had confidence in the last 2 weeks, and for whatever reason, it was just felt flat. That falls on me, not getting the guys prepared and confident about the plan. And if you don't have confidence in the plan, ultimately you probably won't execute it. So, yep, that's defense.
Yeah, offensively, I got to do a better job putting our guys in better situations to be successful. Too many 3rd and longs. I got to watch the tape, but I thought there were some critical sacks we took on 2nd and 7+. We're trying to get half back, and I got to do a better job of getting us more efficient on 2nd and long, so that it is 3rd and less. And it ultimately falls on me, nobody else.
Coach,
Yes.
he was hoping all 3 of you would answer.
Can you, what's that?
He was hoping all 3 of you would answer.
Oh, yeah. Can you repeat that?
I was asking what went wrong tonight.
Oh. Well, again, we took the ball kind of down the field, got a 3, and, looking like we were going to kind of do what we did last week. And, we had some stuff that was working offensively. And then, there's been games this year where we've played lights out on defense, and then there's been other games where we haven't. And this was one of those other games where we haven't. And there are really no excuses. We did have some flu going through the team, so we had some guys with IVs this morning that were vomiting and whatnot, and we didn't play 2 in our secondary. Wayne Jones didn't play, and Donnie Balfour didn't play. Ayabi was another guy that was sick for 2 days, but he sucked it up and played. And I think what went wrong is we just aren't disciplined yet as a football team. We show flashes of really good things, and then we very quickly revert back and to some undisciplined behaviors, and you have to just you have to want to eliminate those mistakes. You have to work on eliminating those mistakes. Now, we had a face mask penalty there on Nakai Hill Green in the first series, and he put his arm out. I'm not talking about that. That's a hustle play, stuff like that. The extracurricular stuff, that's just inexcusable. And then, like knowing situations, like how close are you to a quarterback? When do you kind of pull up? those kind of things. And so, somebody, I don't think Jeremy asked me last week, how do you fix it? Honestly, we're trying everything. So, but we got to keep trying more. I think, offensively, we showed some good things today, but then we just get in ruts, where we the fact that we had 19 third downs. Is that right? Yeah. The fact that we had 19 third downs, well, means we had the ball a long time. But we get in these ruts where we'll just, we'll repeat plays and repeat plays, and we just have to. I think we have to take to the game field the things we're practicing, and I think we haven't done that well, and that's part coaching and it's part playing, and so this game was particularly disappointing to me because Charlotte and FAU were in the same conference last year, and so this is not a game where we should be behind that program, but we are, and I don't know the history of the series or anything like that or what happened last year, but you these are the games you should and have to win.
Jeremy? Question for Coach Miller. Got out to a fast start at EC, we're up 10-0, and the offense was kind of able to play the style you guys envisioned. Is it any different when you're trying to fight back rather than being ahead in these games?
No, I mean, I think every drive you're going down to go score, right? And no, I mean you're doing what gives you the best chance to move the ball up and down the field, and having an understanding of the clock, but most importantly, moving the ball effectively and putting points on the board. And so to answer your question, no.
What was your question exactly?
Is the offensive philosophy any different when you're trying to fight back rather than kind of being ahead and controlling the clock?
Well, I hope we don't want to be fighting back. We would like to actually be winning. And it shouldn't be, and I don't think it is, but it might look that way. But it shouldn't be.
Hunter?
For Coach Miller, just curious, obviously before Jalen and Trexler go down, the switching back and forth throughout most of the game before the injuries occurred. What goes into that? Is it the hot hand? I'm just curious as to your mindset as who's in the game.
Yeah, Jalen got kind of nicked early in the game.
Yep.
That was a big part of it, and got evaluated at halftime, and then still needed a little bit of time to, see if he could go. That was a big part of it. And we've had them both ready to play. They're both competitors, and they're both working hard. And I got to do a better job of continuing to coach them to. The most important stat a quarterback can have is the leader of the team is win, and that's what we're here to do. Every day we go to work, we roll our sleeves up, and we're building something, and it takes time, laying the foundation and building and creating a winning mentality, a winning mindset, a winning performance. And so that's been our, goal we've talked about as an offensive unit, falling in love with the process, knowing it's going to love us back. And it's all about that, the Monday through Friday. And thought we had a good work week, and came up short. And so we got to watch the tape and get better and prepare for Tulsa next Saturday.
Anything else, guys? Jeremy?
For Coach Osborne, just wanted to ask about the secondary. You mentioned, Coach, how Wayne Jones and Dante didn't play, but there's a lot of big names on the defensive line. Can you just talk about the secondary and how they played tonight?
Yeah, it just goes back to what I said earlier. Again, I thought I had a good plan. You know, there were some things that I thought we could have done better. There's some technique things on all three levels, D-line, linebacker, and the secondary. But you know, we knew, at least we felt going into the game, the one thing that they could take advantage of. Obviously, they have a couple good receivers. You know, 1 and 8. You know, and our plan was to try to give some different presentations from a shell look or middle field closed look, and play coverages accordingly. Not be in man situations, but you know, try to still play more pattern match and you know, get bodies on bodies. We didn't think 10 was you know, under duress was a very accurate thrower. You know, the problem with that was they did a good job in 7-man protection. You know, they kept the tight end 48 in a lot, and you know, which obviously gave 10 a little bit more time, one, to develop routes and whatnot. So you know, I thought for the plan, there are some things we'll clean up. Overall, I think all three levels have issues that we have to fix. But you know, the plan wasn't good enough, so ultimately I got to put them in better positions to be able to execute the game plan, but also put them in positions, you know, of things that they do well. And that's the you know, that's the task going forward.
For Coach Poggi, what was your message to the team after that game?
I usually don't speak to them right after a game. And the reason is they're sorting through their own emotions, and I'm sorting through mine. And I just remember, even though it was a billion years ago, when I was a player and we didn't play well, the last thing I wanted to hear was my coach right after the game coming in and telling me, hey, you guys didn't play well, because nobody knows that better than the guys in the locker room. So I want to give them some room and a little bit of space and some respect, and also, you know, Hunter, like I need to watch the film before I can really speak intelligently about how everything went down. So I don't want to say something that is inaccurate to them, because then I got to go back in and clean it up on Monday, you know. So our team meeting Monday will we'll do what we call the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we'll use it as a learning situation. Excuse me. What I you know, what I really want to see the kids personally do is to take control of their emotions better during a game. You know, these are life lessons that you have to try to learn, and sports are a great place and way to do that, because guess what, things aren't always going to go well, and you know, you just can't, you know, fly off the handle. So and we you know, we spend a lot of time on it. We gotta keep spending time on it and keep working on it.
Anything else, guys? All right.
Appreciate
Thank
it
you
all.
very much.
Thank you.